Sometimes selling digital products or print-on-demand products on Etsy can feel like you're swimming against the tide, drowning in a massive ocean of competitors just trying to get seen. Today, I'm going to show you how to step out of that ocean and be a big fish in this little Etsy pond with an easy niche idea. Hi, I'm Jess. I've built multiple 6- and 7-figure Etsy stores getting sales like these and learning the ins and outs of Etsy, Amazon, and more. A wild and crazy event led me to start a totally new life traveling abroad, giving me the unique opportunity to step back, work a lot less, and start sharing all of my Etsy insights with you. So hit that subscribe button, grab a pen and paper, and let's jump in. Hi and hello, my awesome Etsypreneur. I'm so glad to see you here for this video. If you're new here, thank you for joining me. If you're not new here, welcome back. Oh my gosh, you guys know I love digital products on Etsy because of the ability to grow a passive income, and print-on-demand products are almost as good. But a lot of times these niches can be super saturated. There's a lot of competition. So I wanted to throw in an Etsy niche idea that has way less competition but huge demand. And it's actually really easy to create these products with very low startup costs at all. So I'm going to show you exactly what you need, where to get it, and how to make these products. And I want to point out that there's tons of other niches like this where you can really dominate as a new seller. So please comment below if that's something you're interested in learning more about, so I know if there's a demand for more videos like this. But this particular store that I'm going to case study for you today is going to knock your socks off when you see their sales. And then you're going to want to sit down when you see how easy these products are to make, because it's nuts. It's absolutely bonkers. So let's dive right in here with their Etsy store stats. So this particular seller makes personalized cake toppers. Don't get intimidated. These are super basic and easy to make. They have over 106,653 sales, which is super awesome. And their average product price here is about $16. Sometimes it does go up a little bit depending on what kind of sales they have, and they also have some slightly fancier products. They did recently integrate some ornaments, which we'll talk about later, but in terms of what is selling and what is selling the most, they're sitting right around that $16 mark. If we look at their feedback and we go to their very oldest one, you're going to see they actually didn't start out in this niche. They started out with shirts, and primarily children's shirts. Their first feedback comes in May 16th of 2018. Keeping in mind that they've been open since 2018 with 106,000 some odd sales, they are sitting at just over $300,000 a year in approximate annual sales, which is a massive, massive number. And if you're not familiar with the handmade niche, there's usually a higher profit margin with handmade products. So that makes it even more impressive. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that, but briefly, I do want to point out that when they were selling shirts, their sales were okay, but once they switched to these targeted cake topper products, their sales literally exploded. There is a massive, massive demand for these products. And this particular store has a few things going for them, which has contributed to that explosive growth. So first of all, they're in the wedding niche, which is really high in demand. Wedding is a high volume niche that obviously has a peak time for Etsy sales, which is wedding seasons, but weddings are going to happen forever. They've been around for thousands of years. They're not a trending concept, so you know that there's also longevity in this niche. It's going to stick around year after year after year. Second of all, they're making physical products, which immediately sets them apart from a lot of digital sellers in this niche. And also, even aside from the other physical products in the wedding niche, like t-shirts for bridal parties and things like that, these are unique. They really have access to the major pool of potential buyers in that wedding niche without a lot of competition. So that is really clever and really works well for them. Let's take a look at a couple of their best sellers, and then I want to talk to you about the cost and difficulty of creating products like these. Spoiler alert, it is cheaper and easier than you think. You're not going to believe how affordable and easy this is, in fact. So, like I was mentioning before, they have actually branched out into ornaments recently, and I do think that that was a clever way to get some more year-round traffic because wedding season obviously does have a peak. So by integrating ornaments, they're going to capitalize on the holiday season, which is kind of the opposite of wedding season. So it taps into a year-round customer base. But the two best sellers that I wanted to show you, because those ornaments are fairly new to their store, is this one, which is a cute little gold heart cake topper, and this one, which is a beautiful, simple name. So the heart one is a bestseller. The name one, that is just a script name, is actually an Etsy's pick. It is insanely popular. And not only are these products absolutely gorgeous, but they're relatively affordable as well. So depending on what finish you want to choose is depending on the prices. So if you get it in natural wood, which is basically just unpainted, it's going to be $15.99. If you want it painted gold, it's $1 more. If you want it gold mirror, it's actually going to be $25.99. And there's a couple other options too for like pastel colors. And if you look here, they do have a really great little color palette that lets you see all the different options that you can choose. Looking at the rest of their images, they have this great video here. And then their other images are really well done. And a lot of these could even be provided by customers, because this is such a photogenic product, and obviously people are taking professional photos of their wedding cakes, which makes it easy for them to access all of these really high quality listing images, which I love. And before you click right on out of here and say, nope, that's too fancy, I can't make that, let me shock you to your core right now and tell you that these can actually be made with a Cricut or Silhouette machine. And in fact, if you know how to type in a name in a pretty font on Canva, you can make this product. You can use a Cricut or a Silhouette. Technically, I'm partial to Silhouette since that's the machine that I used to make my first massively successful Etsy store, which was also in the party niche, but not in weddings. And what this seller does, or what they probably do, they might have a different machine, is just have a file where they can type the name in and customize the name. So they only need to make the file once. For example, if we type into Canva this name here, and we choose some sort of really pretty script, probably not that one, that's not that pretty for a wedding, like this one, or this one. You can adjust the line so that they touch like they do here. And you're probably going to want to take the time and find a prettier script. You're not going to want to do it in 15 seconds like this. But as an example, you create this design one time, and then every time you get an order, you come over here and you just do that. You download it, you pull it over to your Cricut machine or your Silhouette machine program, and you've got it ready to roll. It's literally a 2-minute process at most. So there's actually a great tutorial, by the way, that teaches you how to cut these wood letters using your Cricut, made by a wonderful tutorialist, is that a word, tutorialist, named Jennifer Maker. So I'm going to put the link to this tutorial down in the video description below. And she shows you fairly easily how you use your Cricut to cut the name. It's actually very easy, and she's making the design right in Cricut using fonts directly in her Cricut. And she's just putting it right here. She's adding a little heart to make it look pretty. And I'm just kind of scrolling through here. So she's got her wood, which I will show you in just a minute. She puts it down on the mat, puts the mat in the Cricut, and she's going to cut it. It's super, super easy. It's going to cut it, which basically does the work for you. And then you're just going to pull the cut piece out of your wood. Easy peasy. So it literally takes about 5 minutes to make. It's not that complicated. And this tutorial walks you through the full process if you've never had a Cricut machine before or a Silhouette machine before. So once you cut the name out on the wood, you can paint it any of these colors. And that takes probably about 10 minutes or so if you're, paying attention to what you're doing and you're not trying to rush it. And it really provides this beautiful look that they have here with the gold colors. Now, surprisingly, I'm going to show you another quick little hack. The seller has this gorgeous box, if I pause the video, and if you look here, you can see that the name is also cut into the box. That is also done with the Cricut. So instead of putting the wood on the mat, you would just put this little foam insert that goes inside the box on the mat instead, cut the name out, and take the inside out so that your little sign fits right inside the box. I know, it's mind-blowing. And you can actually order boxes of this particular size or whatever size you need in bulk from Alibaba for a really affordable price with foam boards that fit nicely into the box. So you can get these elegant looking boxes like this. So once you get the hang of the software and how it works, you could probably make this whole product, including the box foam cutout, from start to finish in about 20 to 30 minutes. And that's not counting time for the paint to dry, but you're not doing anything when the paint dries. So perhaps your next question popping in your head is, okay, well, if I don't have a Silhouette or a Cricut, how much would something like this actually cost me? So let's take a look at that. You're going to be so surprised here. You can actually get a Cricut maker for $400, which is pretty cool. And it will let you do everything. You can cut the wood, and it comes with, this is a bundle, so it comes with some other things as well. However, like I said before, I'm more of a Silhouette kind of girl. So if I was to start this business, I would probably suggest getting the Silhouette Cameo. The new one is the Cameo 4, and you can actually cut a little bit thicker of wood with this one. So the Cricut Maker 3 lets you cut wood for up to about 2.4 millimeters thick, whereas the Cameo 4, which is less than $200, so half the price of a Cricut, can actually cut up to 3 millimeters. And so if you're in the US, that's about a third of an inch thick. So pretty decent in terms of thicknesses for a cake topper, for example. So for $200, you can get this whole bundle that comes with the mat, which is super helpful, and these cutters as well. So you can really cut anything you want. And what I love is that it lets you cut 12 inches wide and up to 10 feet long. So for this case, when you're doing little cake toppers, it really doesn't require a big space. You don't really have to worry about that. But when I launched my first business with the Cricut, technically my second business, my first one was with party decor, like banners and invitations and things like that. Cupcake toppers and all that good stuff. My second one was actually the one that I expanded to Amazon Prime was actually vinyl wall decals. And so it was really helpful to be able to create decals that were 2, 3, 4 feet long so that people could put them on their wall. So the Silhouette is really versatile for things like that. And I'll put links to all of these in the video description. They will be affiliate links, so it does help support this channel should you choose to actually buy any of these things, but definitely check them out and see what appeals to you, because there is so much potential money to tap into, potential buyers to tap into in some of these homemade niches that can be super, super easy to do. Okay, so you know how much the machine costs, but here's where the supplies come in. to get a 10-pack of wood that's 12 by 12 inch big, so more than enough wood to make probably, you could probably fit 2 signs here, like one on this side and one on this side, depending on how the names fit. And you can get that 10 pack for $20. So that's basically $2 per piece of wood. And even if you could only fit one sign per piece of wood, that's basically $2 per sign that this would cost you in wood costs. There's also really affordable paints that are high quality. For example, folk art metallic craft paint. These are beautiful paints, and they come in some really, really great colors. And this particular 8-pack is only $22, but you can buy colors individually that are really only $2 to $3 a bottle. So you can be a lot more specific about what kind of color options you want to offer to your buyers. And it's really, really super affordable. So if you're thinking about supplies, including the machine, you can launch an entire business for $300 or less. That's including supplies, that's including the machine, that's everything that you need, which is insane. And honestly, not much more expensive than launching a print-on-demand business, because you have to pay for your first few print-on-demand orders out of your own pocket anyways. So this was such a great opportunity that I really wanted to showcase for you guys that really breaks into some of these less saturated niches. And I do want you to comment below if you want to see more ideas like this, because there's endless ideas that are simple and easy to do that do not have this high competition that digital and print on demand products have. And I do also have a great freebie that helps you decide what to sell and really narrow down whether or not the idea will sell successfully based on your own interests and passions and hobbies. So if you haven't seen that yet, the link is down below with all my other freebies. So quickly go hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already and you enjoyed this video and want to be super awesome. And then check out my free resources before you go. Meet me here in this awesome video where you can see how some Etsy sellers make $2 million a year selling slices of wood, and they're not even sanded. It's totally nuts. See you there.